Hi, this is Heidi, and today's Juice Feast day number 5, and I wanted to share a few things that are just kind of interesting, and I don't think I've even heard them anywhere. First thing is that I've got this, plaque buildup, and I think that's just from not eating regular food. And so normally it must knock off my teeth, so I've had to brush my teeth really frequently. Also, my tongue, you can see it's got all this white buildup. I'm kind of thinking it's the same plaque buildup, maybe. But I had moved recently, 6 months ago, and I haven't unpacked all my boxes because it's a temporary move, and I haven't pulled out my tongue scraper while I was digging around. Had to find my tongue scraper, and it was just so gross, the amount of stuff that's on there. Anyway, that's just a side note for in case you were interested in doing it yourself, that it's normal, I guess. And the other thing I was kind of thinking about, and I was listening to the tail end of a radio show when I got in the car, because I spent a lot of my life in the car, so as you'll be able to tell from a lot of my videos will probably be done in the car. Talking about Christians that give credit, so let's back up. When things are going well, they can give credit to natural means for the blessings that God gives. And when things are hard, they do call on the Lord, and they do have, they deal with it well and gracefully. And then when things go well, and God really puts His hand of blessing on them, gives them what they have asked for and what they're working hard for. Like right now, I'm working hard for health. I want my body to stop hurting. I want to lose all of this here if I can, and all of my belly to shrink and my everything to shrink. That would be lovely. And so it was really convicting, and it made me really think, I don't want to lose sight of what my purpose is in this. Because, with juicing, it's so much about what you're putting into your body. And so I don't want to lose sight of this is a very spiritual act for me. This is not a diet. It is not, we always choose food to put into our bodies. And so we're always on a diet of some kind or another. And this is about my spiritual seeking of Christ, seeking of God. And so when God blesses me with health and well-being and less pain, which today's day 5, and I feel, I do feel better. My between some of my toes and joints and my heels still are a little bit sore, but I feel overall my hips haven't been hurting when I lay down at night and sleep. And just as an FYI, since I'm new to doing YouTubes, I already don't eat a lot of, I wasn't even eating gluten. I haven't eaten gluten for 3 years, 4 years maybe. Corn that's been off my list. However, I was eating corn syrup in candy. So I was eating things that I knew I was allergic to and I was sensitive to. And, that's the kind of stuff that was building up. I can't even eat brown rice without complications and feeling, joint pains and muscle pains. So I really had a limited diet. So I was eating white rice. My husband's Filipino, so we eat rice every day. So I would eat white rice and not have a problem with that. So because there's nothing in it, it's just carb and that's it. So this is just musings of mine for today. There's nothing really fabulous to tell you, other than I did have a fabulous juice last night. I was feeling hungry, and I know I keep saying that probably, but if you don't keep drinking, and every now and then, like right now, you got to keep it up, got to keep drinking. So I was hungry, and I was feeling like, oh, this juice is just, I think I'm going to have to make another juice that sort of tastes the same, because I don't really know that much about variety for juicing. And the vegetables I have, I've often used them all together. So then I thought, okay, I went and I got some guavas. There were some that were in bags because they had old parts cut off, so I was able to get them for a better price than if I bought them completely whole individually. Now, the good thing about that is they're riper. It's really hard, I think, to get a good guava. And these are the Hawaiian guavas, and so I bought those. and they had 3 in a bag, so I got 3 ripe ones and 3 unripe ones, but they're all cut in 2, so I don't know if the other 3 are going to ripen. Back to the juice, though. I did peel them. They're not organic. Everything else, I'm really trying to stick with organic, but these are from the tropics. Maybe, I'm just going to turn a blind eye to some things. This was the best juice I've ever tasted, and it was so exactly what I needed. It was thick because guavas are thick, so I got rid of the seeds, and the seeds are great for digestion but they're kind of spicy. So I've made the mistake of making smoothies with a whole papaya. Don't do that. It's kind of spicy. You have to be so hardcore, and I want to do this as a lifestyle, not be so crazy. So yeah, I don't recommend that. Anyway, so I scooped out the seeds and peeled them, and they were so good. So I did a bunch of celery, a bunch of flat leaf parsley, and I think 2 guavas, maybe 3. I think I did 3 guavas. It was so sweet, and I haven't been doing sweet juice, but I needed that. It was so good. And if you're going to do this long term for me, I just, I'm a sugar crackhead. And so I'm trying not to feed that. But at the same time, this is not the crack that I've been needing. So, and I really needed that. I really needed that mouthfeel of that thicker juice. That really did help a lot. So I'm trying to branch out and just be more open-minded. I really do want to do green juice mostly, keep it really green and vegetable, but at the same time, we have to live balanced lives, and this is an extreme measure to help an extreme situation. But, I want to help myself for life. So, to let fruit in a little bit, I think is actually what I needed to do. And it was exactly what I needed to keep going last night. Yeah, so I still don't know what I want to do. In the back of my mind, I really would love to do 60 days if I could accomplish that. It's going to be tough. My husband's really interested in getting started on this, and that would require a lot of juice. So because I really have to take care of myself and do this, I'm suggesting he does his own juice, so we'll see. I might help. It's the prepping of the vegetables, cutting off all the yuckies, and I'm cutting less and less yuckies off, and just getting a big bowl of water and shaking it all up in there and just juicing it and not cutting off all of the dark edges. I mean, like for the Swiss chard, some that gets older faster than the kale. So the kale I'm using as is. The Swiss chard, I'm cutting off the ends because they're starting to look a little scraggly, and I'm looking, getting rid of anything that doesn't look best, for your, if it's really old and, darkening and yellowing or whatever. But I'm actually really happy. So there's one other thing. Because I nurse, my mom is also very concerned. She's a lactation consultant, of course, very concerned about the breastfeeding thing. And I definitely know my milk is getting a little lower. So I am going to get some chlorella or spirulina or some kind of algae to add to this to give me a higher protein, or to give me protein. I know a lot of the YouTube videos that I've seen out there, people talk about the juicing is sufficient with all the vegetables because they're turning into they're amino acids. Your body has to process the meats and other beans and other proteins into the amino acids, then the cells can use them. And when you juice, they're already in amino acid form. They go straight into your cells, which is the point of juicing and feeding your body. I do want to be wise, and I also want this to be able to be as long as I want it to be. So I'm just going to keep watching how I feel. One thing, I definitely want to do this until I don't have pain. So that, I don't know how long that will take. But, it feels a little bit less pain every day. So one of these days I might wake up 21, yay! So, and I'm 40, I'll be 41 in about 2 months. So, I think that's it for today. Bye.